What is that? Now there's a harp. Is that still tin whistle or flute? Oh god, there's so much going on. It sounds like an old music box that she's winding up. Is every instrument that's ever been existed in this song? Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Then you're good to go with all the alerts you need when these go live. We're back with a group that I've been getting a lot of calls to have a look at, and actually for quite a long time now, and I didn't know how to pronounce the name, so I went onto Google, and apparently it is Eluveitie. They are a Swiss folk metal band, which is interesting, and I know nothing about them other than on a very quick glance, it looked like they had a very extensive former band member list, so I'm not sure what that's about, or if there's guests that appear or something like that, but we've never done any Swiss folk metal, so I figure it's about time. And usually when I get so many requests over a long period of time for a group, I know they're going to be good, because you guys have got pretty good taste, and I know I'm in safe hands, so thank you for that. Really keen to get stuck in. Eluveitie, Rebirth. Let's see what you got. Menacing. Okay. How many instruments are in this? How many band members are there? Okay, we're running it back because this is awesome. Started out really brutal, that really quick trem alternate picking by the guitarist. When you're playing at a speed like that, usually it's so busy and so quick, but it's very consistent, right? So that busyness creates this steady rhythm, if you will, and you can still hear the kind of transfers between the chord progression when he's going up and down the neck. And then you had the drummer. It sounds ridiculous to say now, but that snare work that he was accenting was quite quick, but that was only half the speed of the blast beats he was going to go into, which is phenomenal. Obviously, we haven't heard any like main vocals or anything, but just that scream, that brutality of that scream, it actually reminds me, just the scream, not the music necessarily, just the scream, reminds me of the guy from Atreyu. He had like a really brutal guttural scream that had quite a nice high-end tweak on it as well. It sounded like that. And then I saw an instrument there that I don't think I've ever seen in my life before, certainly not in a metal band. It's like I thought it was it's weird, it's like I don't know what it is. And then I saw violin. I'll be honest, I didn't hear the violin as prominently as what it looked like she was playing, so I want to have another listen out for that. But then you had the tin whistle, right? And I think it's a tin whistle. I hope I got that right. Shout out Troy from Nightwish, that's how I learn these things. And that was really amazing, because that added like a complete signature dynamic to what they were doing. So have a listen to when we play back now, that snare, how it speeds up. Really impressed by that. And then when they strip back that timing and they allowed that kind of tin whistle fluty noise to shine through, really cool. I would like to have another listen for the violin though. Killer start, awesome song. Let's go. Nice gallop on the drums too. What is that? Definitely got some synth as well. I'm gonna go back so it leads in. Now I'm getting the folky elements. Her voice, her vocals go up. I've never heard Swiss folk music before, but I definitely get that folky feel from that almost storytelling kind of up and down vocal rhythm that she's got. Beautiful voice as well. Such a completely different dynamic to what we had heard in the beginning, understandably so. Obviously her vocals being clean. And then I think I heard more screams coming in. So it'll be interesting to see if we go back to that guy from the beginning again. What was that? So that instrument that I saw again when I said, what was that? I'd love to know, guys. I don't know what that is. It's completely brand new to me, and it's sparking a lot of interest. And I think because I don't know what it is, it's hard to place the sound of it. So I will have a look after, and I'll make sure I study up. And then he had one of these, like, I guess, traditional percussion pieces that he was playing there. It did sound a lot more like a floor tom. So either if it is that instrument that's been recorded, it's most likely been manipulated in some way in the studio after, but it's all mixed really well. It's really hard to get all of these things to shine through when you do this, but it's so cool. I was just going to say, what is that? Because I can hear this other trem picking, but it doesn't sound like a guitar. So that's a mandolin, right? Looks like a mandolin. Is every instrument that's ever been existed in this song? I'll be honest, the sound of that mandolin actually cuts through really nicely. I mean, a lot of that's to do with how the mix is and the engineering around it, but it cuts through really nicely. And what it does is it adds the busyness and the intensity of the initial guitar, distorted guitar feel, but it does it in a way that they're able to do those quick shuffle palm muting pieces on top, but to cut those short in some instances so that the vocals can sit on top, because the vocals can't always sit on top of that trem picking. That's why you had that big scream in the beginning, and now you've got more of a vocal phrasing from him. I'll go back one more time to see. It's so cool. So that's got those double strings on it, right? Yeah. Oh, this is rad. These are words, soul in my scorching flesh. Take down the bed, this fucking verse. That one. My floating world, invest my stride and crash inversion of the void. I'm loving this chorus so much. When she came in with it clean in the beginning, I really got the hook straight away. I loved it. I'm going back because I need to hear this again. It sounds like I can't even get my words out. It sounds like the violin. It is a violin. It's not a viola. Yeah, it looks smaller. It sounds like that's playing more a traditional chord backing piece to aid any synth work that there is in this. And there must be some keys. It does sound like that, but that tin whistle and her voice, the way that her voice can fluctuate and that kind of folky, distinct flavor, those two things work really well together, because there are certain notes coming from the instruments and from the vocals that actually line up and match perfectly, and they almost become one thing, and I really, really like that. I think it's super smart. I think it's very unique. As you can tell, I'm excited, and why wouldn't I be? Because they're fantastic. Have a listen to I love the hook. So listen to when her voice blends in with that tin whistle. There are certain notes that kind of almost cancel out or phase together, but he's actually doing a screaming phrasing underneath of the same words. But it's mixed in really well, so it's nice and soft. It adds a power and a grit, but it doesn't take away from the melody. I don't like pausing in the middle of something. I normally try and wait for the bar to end, but the speed on those runs, ouch. Sweet surrender and serenity. Will I remember this battle? Will I ever? Must be a layered scream, because I don't see anyone else screaming. What is that? What is it? Sounds like an old music box that she's winding up. Oh, why don't I know? I need to know. When I don't know if that's the sound it typically makes or if that's been filtered or modulated, but when I hear it there, I'm like, okay, now I'm getting an idea. It's the first time I've heard it in isolation, so I'm trying to figure it out. But oh god, this is cool. What I love about this, is he the guy screaming playing the thing? Because is that still tin whistle or flute? Oh god, there's so much going on. What I love about this is when you have like a kind of a wind instrument, the fluctuation between the notes is fluid. There's no real harsh start or harsh end. The decay and the attack are very long lasting, so they drift and flow into each other. It's this fluidity, and it is such a contrast. I'm going back so you can hear this, but it's such a contrast to what the guitars are doing. Just like grrr, grrr. They're doing this like gallopy, fast cuts with short bits, and then you've got this almost water-like instrument sound floating through it all. It's like calm river turbulence. It's amazing. Nice palm muting to keep up with the kick work. I'm going back because I want to hear it in isolation. When they were doing all those harmonies together, I'm still not able to pick that instrument out on its own because I just need to hear more about it. I need to figure this out. But it's very cool. So somehow it works. Whatever it's doing, it's adding just like this third dynamic to what would typically be guitar harmonies, and I think it sounds fantastic. It's mixed incredibly well, and it's making my ears very, very happy. Okay, she's got some growls on her too.
In front of Antonio's gate.
Now there's a harp.
The mirror in the lake. Recognize I did not, nor did I comprehend.
Key change.
This was my reply.
Oh no, is it over? That was very good. That was super interesting. That was very good. It was mixed well. It was played incredibly well. It's things I've never heard before, and my ears could not be happier. I really like that. I like how busy the song was and how much instrumentation there is. I think visually, when you see those instruments, and when it's a music video that is performance based like this, somewhat story but mostly performance based, and it's jumping around between all those instruments, that can sometimes be a negative. And I'll explain. When you're just listening to a song and you've got no visual aid for it, it becomes something that you just pick up through listening. But when you're looking and you see something, your ear starts searching for that sound. It just happens automatically. And the more you practice that, the better you get at picking it up quicker, the better you get at moving other instruments out of your way and listening to what's behind them. And sometimes that can be a negative because there's so much going on there that it may sound overkill or too much. That wasn't the case here, because I think that might be the best representation of multi-instrument metal we've seen. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of Nightwish fans that are going, what about Nightwish? And it's true, it's very similar, but I think they had even more instruments in this. Again, no comparison, different music, completely different thing, but I loved that. I loved the way it was mixed. I loved the melody. The melody was fire. It was insane. The minute that chorus hits, I couldn't help myself. I had to start moving. Happiest my ears have been all morning. So super psyched on that. I have to listen to more. I just need to know which one. So you let me know and we're going to get on that straight away. Until the next one, I want to thank you so much for this. Please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.